Unmasking the giants, Nestle's untold business brutality. Nestle, a household name, often associated with joy and sweet moments. But are we aware of the darker side of this giant corporation? The aim of this video is to expose the brutal face of Nestle's business practices that are often concealed behind their sweet treats. The beginning of Nestle's brutality can be traced back to the baby milk scandal in the 1970s. Nestle aggressively marketed their infant formula in less developed countries, where clean water was scarce, leading to many infant deaths due to the contamination of water in which the formula was mixed. In the late 1990s, Nestle was accused of using child labor in their cocoa farms in West Africa. The children were subjected to brutal working conditions, with long hours and little to no pay, bringing a dark cloud over the chocolates we so love. Nestle's history of unethical water management is another testament to their brutal business practices. Pumping out groundwater for their bottled water business, they leave local communities parched and struggling for water. The company seems to prioritize their profit over people's right to water. Their destruction of the environment is another brutal aspect of Nestle's business. Clearing forests for palm oil plantations, they contribute to massive deforestation and loss of biodiversity. Palm oil, a key ingredient in many of their products, comes at an appalling cost to our planet. Nestle's unhealthy products have also come under fire. Many of their food and beverage products are packed with high levels of sugar, sodium, and unhealthy fats. Despite knowing the health risks, they continue to market these products, contributing to the global obesity epidemic. Their questionable marketing strategies play a part in this brutality. Nestle has been known to mislead consumers with false health claims and deceptive marketing. Their actions, aimed at boosting sales, often disregard the health and ethical implications for consumers. Nestle's unfair treatment of farmers, who do the hard work supplying ingredients for their products, further highlights their brutal practices. Buying from farmers at extremely low prices, they squeeze out maximum profits while leaving farmers struggling to make ends meet. Workers' rights violations within Nestle factories are another point of concern. From unsafe working conditions to wage theft, the treatment of their factory workers paints a grim image of the company's disregard for human rights. Their monopolistic behavior is indicative of their brutal business strategy. By dominating markets and stifling competition, they maintain control and drive prices, often to the detriment of consumers and small businesses. Their interference in public policy is also alarming. By funding scientific research and influencing health policies, they protect their interests at the expense of public health, further cementing their brutal approach to business. The unrelenting drive for profit is at the core of Nestle's brutality. Their business decisions consistently prioritize profit over ethical considerations, human rights, and environmental sustainability. Despite attempts to clean up their image, Nestle's fundamental approach to business remains brutal. Their corporate social responsibility efforts often seem like a smokescreen to deflect attention from their controversial practices. Repeatedly reprimanded and fined by courts and regulatory bodies around the world, Nestle's track record is far from clean. Yet, they continue to profit from their brutal practices, being one of the world's largest food and beverage companies. How can we, as consumers, respond to this? By making informed decisions, demanding greater transparency, and supporting ethical alternatives, we can challenge Nestle's brutal business model. In conclusion, Nestle's business practices extend far beyond the realm of acceptable corporate behavior. Their bottom-line driven, brutal approach is a stark contrast to the sweet, comforting image they project. It's time to unmask the giants and hold them accountable for their actions. This video serves as a wake-up call, shedding light on Nestle's dark side. It's time to question, to educate ourselves, to demand change. Because we, the consumers, have the power to influence corporate behavior and instigate change. This is the brutal truth about Nestle's business. It's not just about the chocolates, the infant formula, or the bottled water. It's about the disregard for human rights, the destruction of our environment, and the pursuit of profits at all costs. So next time you reach for a Nestle product, remember the real cost. The cost that isn't listed on the price tag. The cost borne by struggling farmers, exploited children, parched communities, and our dying planet. In a world striving for sustainability and fairness, Nestle's brutal business model stands out like a sore thumb. It's high time we challenge this, demand accountability, and press for a more ethical, sustainable approach to business. Unmasking Nestle's brutality is the first step. The next step is in our hands. Let's use our collective power to shape a better, fairer, more sustainable world. Because every purchase is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in.